Always remember this. When you fear something, that's a good thing. That means you're growing. Fear is a good thing. All right, it's Monday. Hi, this is Chazz Palminteri. Welcome to the Chazz Palminteri Show. Every Monday at 11 o'clock, a new episode. Hit that subscribe button. Because that's how I get these great guests here. I got a lot of great guests coming up this whole week. A lot of great guests. All right. Don't forget, if you want to come and see the one-man show, ChazzPalminteri.net. If you want to see it filmed with 5 cameras on 4K, go to Amazon.com, Apple, or Google. Then watch it there and come and see it live. It's a night at the theater you will never forget. All right, don't forget my wine, the Chazz Palminteri wine, Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a fantastic wine. They're all Stu Leonard's and a lot of premium places. Also, my cigars, the classic Chazz Palminteri Bronx Tail Premium Cigar, voted number 8 in the world. Thank you very much, cigar enthusiasts. A Bronx Tail, the Colosio, a little stronger. See, they all get stronger. Colosio voted number 4th in the world by cigar enthusiasts. And coming soon, the Sunny, the most powerful and strongest cigar. We don't have reviews on that yet. John, where am I going to be in my show, John?
So in July, you're going to be at, starting July 18th, you're going to be in Medford, Massachusetts at the Chevalier Theater. July 20th, you're going to be in Nashua, New Hampshire at the Nashua Center for the Arts. August 17th, you're going to be in Riverhead, New York at the Suffolk Theater. And August 19th, you're going to be in Ocean City, New Jersey at the Ocean City Music Pier.
Come and see it live. Also, you can see it on pay-per-view, Amazon, Google, and Apple. And, of course, my restaurants, 2 of the best restaurants in New York or anywhere, Italian restaurant, Chazz Palminteri's, 30 West 46th Street in Manhattan. Go to my website. You could see it. You could see both of them. Chazz Palminteri's, 264 Main Street. Great place to get engaged. Great places, romantic dinners. Both places, fantastic food. Just say you saw this podcast. Handmade dessert, beautiful dessert made from scratch. Everybody gets a dessert. Got that? All you have to do is say, I saw Chazz Palminteri's podcast. That's why I'm here. John, what about all these questions today?
We put out a post yesterday and we got 91 questions, but we're only going to get to a few.
Okay.
I separated them into topics, and this topic we're going to do life advice and relationships. So this one, spirituality, purpose, and emotional support. That's the one I wanted to do. This question comes from Marco. It says, do you believe everything in life happens for a reason, or is it all random?
Well, you know what? That's a question that, some people don't believe in that. I believe in that. I believe in everything happens for a reason. I really do. Serendipity, baby. That's a great movie, too. John Cusack. I love that movie. But it's so true. I believe in things happen for a reason. Do you ever get fired from a job? Usually when you get fired from a job, you know what happens? You end up in a better job. If you have that mindset, if you believe that things happen for a reason, if you look forward, if you go forward, move forward, you get fired from a job, you end up with a better job. A friend leaves you, a girlfriend breaks up with you, a guy breaks up with you, you meet the person that you're going to marry the rest of your life. It happens all the time. You have to have faith in the universe, faith in God. Now, I never tell anybody, I'm a Catholic. I believe in, obviously, Jesus Christ was our Savior. But if you just believe in the spiritual world and you don't believe and you're not a Catholic, if you believe in the spiritual events of the world, it's fine. You don't have to be a Catholic. You could be you could be any religion you want. But you have to have faith that we're just not thrown here just to get as much toys as we can and then die. I don't believe in that. I believe, walk out on a summer day, take a walk in the morning and watch the birds and and life unfold. And you say to yourself, how did all this happen? What is it, an accident? How did all these species get here? How could that be? How long? Yeah, how long have we been here? Look at us. The past 200 years. The past 200, maybe the past 100 years. Look how we progressed. The past 100 years. That's all. Since 1925. Think about that. What we've done in 100 years. Where we've been, to the moon and back, everywhere. Mars. And I say this not to preach, but the basic values remain the same. Remember that, folks. Doesn't matter how far advanced we get. God, family, love. Are we all sinners? Absolutely. Do we all still sin? Absolutely. Nobody's holier than thou. The idea is when you do sin, get back on the horse. You fall off the horse, you get back on again. Nobody lives a life of just never sinning. That doesn't happen. But the idea is you got to stay ahead of the game. So I believe we've changed, John, but I believe morally, it always goes back to the basics. God, family, love. Every time you try to get around it, try to think you're making your money is going to buy you happiness, or women are going to buy you happiness, or sex is going to buy you happiness, you're making a really big mistake. And we all sin. All of us. He without sin, throw the first stone. The idea is get back on the horse again. Don't. It's like a diet. If you fall off the diet, you got to get right back on. A lot of times you fall off the diet, people go, to hell with it now. I'll just do what I want. Can't do that. What's the next question?
Next question comes from Tony. It says, you've talked about faith before. Has your belief in God changed over the years?
Yeah, it gets stronger. My faith gets stronger. You know, people say people find faith more when they get older because they know they're coming towards, they're on the other side of the hill. They're coming toward death. And maybe that's a fair question. I mean, I think that's a fair answer. And people go, only old people. No, yeah, all right. And you know what I say to that? So what? So what? Sometimes fear is a great motivator. And I think God has that there for that. I think fear is really important. I think fear is important. That's how God motivates people. You put the fear of God into them. So fear is a motivator. I always tell people that. Look at like my son. You can get bullied when you're 9 years old.
No, I wasn't bullied.
No, you weren't bullied. You were never bullied. It's like your child. Your child gets bullied when he's 9, 10 years old on the school bus, right? And he's afraid to go on the bus. So what do? You don't make him go on the bus anymore. That's the worst thing to do. You know what? You teach him how to defend himself. That's what you do. That's what you do. You teach him how to defend himself. I was very big on that. My son, my daughter, I taught them how to defend themselves because I boxed many years. And I taught them how to fight. I taught them how to box. And then my son just took it up other levels. He spars now with professionals. He is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu karate, still studies, wants to be a black belt. So, he took it up a level where, he kicked my ass right now. He's, 27, what is he? He's 28. 6 feet, 6'2", 195 pounds, technique like up the wazoo, hits like a bulldog. So that's what you do. And then he was never afraid to ride the bus anymore. How to fight with the bully, kicked his ass. That was it. That builds confidence. That builds confidence that fight will last him the rest of his life. Okay, so when you're afraid of something, always remember this. When you fear something, that's a good thing. That means you're growing. When I get offered a role, that's different. I get offered, obviously, wise guys and police, captains, cops. I could play those roles in my sleep. But when I get offered a role like a a guy from Venezuela with an accent, or a farmer from Guatemala, where I have to change my whole look, my face, my hair. I go, oh God, I got to work on this, and I'm a little nervous about doing it. But you know what? I say to myself, you got to do it because that's how you grow. That's how you grow as an actor, and that's how you grow as a person. So when you're afraid of a new job, that's good. If you question yourself, I don't know if I could do this, that's good. That means you're going to grow. So fear is a good thing. Okay.
What's one thing you didn't understand when you were younger, but you do now?
What's one thing I didn't understand when I was younger, but I do now? I tell you what that is, that we're not here forever. When you're young, you're a young guy. You think you're going to live forever, right? You're going like, what is this? Man, I'm rocking and rolling, right? I didn't understand that. And I wish I had the mindset. But everybody says that. John, everybody says, who said it? Was it George Bernard Shaw? Who said youth is wasted on the young? I don't remember. It might have been him or it might have been Mark Twain. One of those guys said it. I don't remember who. But if I knew then what I know now, everybody says that. But that's just not the way life is. Every day to me is precious. Every day when I wake up, I treat life very precious. I'm much more careful about things that I do. When I was young, I get on a motorcycle, go 100 miles an hour. I don't do that shit anymore. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Now I go, no, keep the motorcycle. Sometimes I box, but I won't spar no more with these. My son, has these like professional fighters. They go, come on, Chazz, get in the ring. I go, no, I'm good, babe. I'm good. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. And you know what I learned, John, which is a big thing? And I tell everybody out there, and if you take anything out of this show, is this. Don't let other people or other events control your life and your attitude. It's a miracle when you don't give a fuck what anybody says about you. It's like one of the most amazing things. I never, ever realized it till I got older. It's like I don't read reviews. You don't like my performance, that's fine. You love my performance, that's fine too. I don't read the good ones, I don't read the bad ones. I don't give a shit what you think. All I care about is performing or living my life. I care about what my wife says about me and my children say about me. And some close friends, I care about what they think of me. Other than that, you shouldn't care about anybody. You get on Facebook, somebody badmouth you, and I talk to especially to the young kids out there. And I say young kids, I mean anybody on Facebook or Instagram. Who cares? Who cares? Marcus Aurelius, this great Stoic, said, "Who cares?" And well, if you're young, maybe in 40 years from now, no one's going to give a shit what they said about you. Think about that. No one's going to care. So why should you, and to all high schoolers out there, elementary school and college, who cares what anybody says about you on Facebook? Or you hear gossip. Gossip is not a good word. I don't give a shit. When someone's about to tell me some gossip, I say, excuse me, is this beneficial to me in any way? Is this going to help me in any way? Well, this guy said, you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care. There's a power in that, folks. There's a power when you don't give a shit about what anybody says. Because think about it. Do you know who your great-grandfather is? Do you? I don't. I know of him. How about your grandfather? You know things about him? Yeah, you know things about your grandfather. Matters how long they live. Your parents, you know about them. One day, you're going to be a great-grandfather. And no one is going to give a shit what this person said on the internet in the year 2025. No one cares. No one cares. You know why I wrote that in the movie? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You ever go to a wake of this man that everybody loved? Oh my God, everybody loved this man. He was the salt of the earth. They can't believe he's gone. Except for his immediate family and some dear friends. Everybody's there at the wake. They can't wait to go out to eat. Where are they going? China? Should we go Chinese, Italian? Where we going? Hugging, kissing, laughing, telling jokes. You ever see that? Telling jokes. They're outside laughing, talking. What does that mean? Nobody cares, folks. Stop letting the internet dictate your mood. Stop it. Stop letting people decide how you're going to feel today. Oh, I had a tough day. Life, it's an old saying. I didn't come up with it. It's an old saying. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Just don't give a shit. There's a freedom in that. Just try it. Next time somebody says something bad about you or says something nasty, just say to yourself, nobody cares. They'll look at that and maybe say something. And then you have the people who call you up. Hey, so-and-so said this about you. Yeah, and this guy said this, or this girl said this about you. All the young people out there. One day you're going to be a great-grandparent, and no one's going to remember this shit. So what do you care about it now? Don't let people dictate your attitude and how you feel about life. Nobody cares.
So that actually leads nicely into the next question that we have. It says, what does legacy mean to you, and what do you hope yours will be?
What is what?
What does legacy mean to you, and what do you hope yours will be?
Well, legacy means a lot to me in a way because my legacy to my family means a lot. How my children view me with all my flaws and all my good things. And how obviously my wife, my wife is, let me tell you something about my wife. My wife is a complete angel. She is. I truly believe that I would not be here today if it wasn't for her. And there were times I fucked up. I have, big time, yeah. And she was always there for me. And there was times I was always so self-absorbed in my career. The first 5 years of our marriage, I was traveling all over the world making movies at the time. It was hard. And what she would do was get our children and hop them in a plane and come and see me. And then she would be home, and I knew everything was okay. There was a solid feeling that everything was okay because I knew I was traveling and the kids were good. Of course, all she cared about was the kids. Above me, and I was okay with that. I wanted that. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Make sure the kids are good. Because that's what a father does. A father takes care of his children and his wife, of course. But I don't care if you get a divorce. Those are still your children, and that is still your wife, the mother of your children. Now, are there bitter divorces? Absolutely. But the kids didn't have a part in it if it comes to that. That's your job, is to take care of those kids. Now, I was talking about her because she is the greatest mother, wife that anybody could have. And I mean that. She's I wouldn't be here without her. I mean that sincerely. And I travel. I was traveling around. I got self-absorbed. You make movies. You're a star. You travel around. It's you have to get a hold of yourself. And some people do it very well. Other people don't do it so well. Other people don't do it so well, and then they get straightened out, and then they do it well. But I think the person you decide to marry, is the most important decision you'll ever make in your life. Because that's the person that either they could be extra luggage or they could be wind in your sails. One or the other. You have your choice. I see these young people, they go, well, we fight a lot. Well, then if you fight a lot when you're younger, then you should think about that. They say opposites attract. They do, but they don't stay together long. That's the second part of the answer. So I say to you is, thank the Lord that I married someone like my wife, without a doubt. My wife is a great woman. I didn't even know I was going to get into this today. I usually don't talk about her. But she's a great person and a great woman. She's extremely talented, beautiful, smart. And sometimes I'm running around and I don't give her enough attention as I should. But I try to catch myself when I do that. I can't believe I'm doing this right now on camera, but I am. So I tell everybody out there, and I tell the men and women out there, that when you find somebody that's really pure and you get along with them, don't lose that person. Don't, and as I got old, I realized that don't treat love so casually, because you never know if it ever comes back. When Sonny says you only get 3 great women in your lifetime, there's some truth in that. I think I talked about this on another episode, and that is, think about it. I want everybody out there who's listening to this podcast right now, think about how many times you fell in love in your life. How many times? You're in a car right now driving, you're listening to this, you're watching it on YouTube, you're listening to it on your podcast, you're jogging, or maybe you're just cleaning the house and you're listening to one of the, podcasts. My podcasts are on, obviously, Apple and Google, and obviously YouTube. Or you're just watching it. I want you to think about how many times you fell in love in your life, real love. Probably a lot of people will say once, if they're 18, 19 years old. Maybe if you're younger than that, maybe you'll say, no, I never did. Think about it. If you're 40, 50 years old, how many times have you been in love? Huh? Think about it. Twice? Twice? Don't tell me 3 times. For you to say 3 times, you're falling in love way too many times. You don't know what love is then, pal. I'm talking about real love. So the average age of a person is what? 76. All right, let's say you get to 80, 85. In 85, 80 years, let's say 80 years, let's say you live to be 80. You could live 90, 95, 100, who knows? But let's say 80. 3 times? 3 times? That's it? And that's if you're lucky. If you're lucky 3 times. Mine's twice. That's it. Twice I fell in love. Twice. My second, obviously, is my wife. So don't throw it away. And sometimes you never realize what you have until you lose it, or you almost lose it. So if I were you, whoever you are out there, be careful. Be careful. You know, we talked about serendipity, everything happens for a reason. Maybe there's someone out there who needs to hear this. Because I know people who didn't hear it, and they lost the person they love. And they were never the same again. Look, everybody should have a chance to be forgiven. Everybody. As long as you do it and mean it. So, I don't understand how I did this, got into this today, but I don't know. I was very, life is good. My wife is wonderful. My kids are healthy. They're doing great. So I want to be grateful for the life I have. And I want to be grateful to all my fans out there. And that's why I have a lot of different people on the show. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to have a lot of, all these people, they constantly hound you, subscribe, like. And they have like a niche. I have anybody on my show. Because if you like my show, you follow me. If you don't like it, I get it. It's okay. But I just like to be honest and come from the heart that be careful about someone you love and treat them right, because sometimes, folks, sometimes you never know. It might not come back. So listen to that out there, you folks who need to hear that. Okay? God bless you. I'm going to see you next week. Don't forget, you want to come and see my show, go to chazzpalminteri.net. You can see it on 4K, 5 cameras, pretty amazing, on Amazon.com. Don't forget my restaurants, Chazz Palminteri's, 2 of the best Italian restaurants in the city. You never know. Go down there for a special event, you might see me. My wine, Chazz Palminteri wine. Add all the Stu Lennons. All the Stu Lennons have them. Great place, Stu Lennons. I like it. And my cigars. The Bronx Tale, the Colosio, the Sunny. Go to lcgcigars.com. My partner, Paul DeSilvio, one of the greatest cigar makers in the world. God bless you all. And remember, hold on to love. You never know when it's not going to come back. See you next week.